Okay, lights on. Good, I know you're working. So, okay, I know I've been gone for a little while. I'm alive. I'm safe. You know, I wasn't dragged out and killed. I had Friday and Saturday off, and I went to Columbus Convention Center. They had a gaming convention called Origins. I got to go swimming at the hotel we were staying at, which was really cool. So it was my first time ever with a bathing suit. I was so excited. I was also so terrified. But it was really cool. And something miraculous happened to me this weekend. I was a woman. I was treated the whole time, for those 2 days, Friday and Saturday, as a woman. Now, you would think most people, this would make them ecstatic and happy. Oh no, not me. You know, because Saturday night, after playing Cthulhu, I got to play a LARP where I got to be a Space Marine, a G.I. Jane, which was really fun. Even in role-playing, I got to be a girl. Some people would argue that's the only time I get to be a girl, but anyway. Yeah, so me and Samantha, we played a role-playing LARP, Cthulhu, and it got done around 1:30. We walked back to the hotel, which was about 5 blocks away, on 3rd and Gay Street. And we got to the hotel, we went up, and I had to have one last cigarette before I had to head back to work on Sunday. One last cigarette, being a woman. Or at least being treated as a woman, because I am a woman. But anyway, so I went outside, and there was this guy who was a part of a wedding party. There were 9 weddings that weekend, by the way. And he had swiped a bottle of wine, and he was outside drinking. He had already had quite a sufficient amount. And he was kind of looking at me, and I was outside having my cigarette. And he said, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "My name's Ari." He's like, "Oh, okay, well that's cool." And then he started talking about, well, he had no place to stay that night, and he wanted to know if he could, like, crash in my hotel room. You know, if anything, just maybe even on the floor, you know. And he was getting pretty friendly with me, and by this time, we were both drinking. And I told him, "No, I don't think I can let you do that. My girlfriend wouldn't appreciate it." So at first he was kind of coming closer and closer to me, and then after that he was kind of stepping the other way just a little bit, you know. I got a new choker, and I got a new necklace. I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. And the secret is why I wear chokers. And I have 3 reasons for this. 1, it divides the makeup from here, and the area where I'm not wearing makeup down here gives a nice divider. 2, covers the Adam's apple. 3, I just really actually like chokers. So that's the big reason on why I wear chokers. No, not an S&M relationship or anything, just I'm really into chokers. So this guy, he was really nice and kind of flirting with me. Something I'm not quite used to, but something I guess as a woman I have to get used to. So at this point, I want to show you one last thing, and then I'll start answering letters from my fans. While I was there at the convention center, I couldn't help myself. So I want you guys to all say hello to my little friend. Now, personally, I think the handle's a little too long, because I think it should stop right here, and I have all this extra area. makes it a lot harder to twirl. But I like it because, as you can tell, it's a reverse blade sword. Not sure how much you can actually tell that or not. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's a little heavy. It's not very well balanced. But yeah, so that's something I'm working on. So, what's been going on with my fans? So, this one girl wrote me, and she says that she believes that she's a girl, she's not on hormones, and she's beginning to develop feminizing features and breasts, and that she's ovulating. So, my theory is that maybe she's intersexed. That's all I can come up with on that. Another one wrote me stating how difficult it is for them being transgendered and in high school and everything, and they don't know what to do or how to deal with it. I know in the U.S. we have counselors, school counselors, and counselors are bound by an oath of confidentiality. As long as you're not a danger to yourself or anyone else, they can't say anything to anyone you don't want them to. So that might be something worth looking into. What else? Yeah. So, oh, one other girl who's on YouTube wrote me, and she states that she's developing these masks behind her nipples, and yeah, those are called mammary glands if you're on hormones. If you're not on hormones, I don't know. I also wanted to talk about how a theory I came up with, or an opinion, on how everyone states that transgendered is an umbrella term, but I think transsexual is too a bit too. And I know people are going to argue with me and go, no, transsexual is a person that is one gender and believes that they're the opposite. And I'm not arguing that. But I think that there's many different degrees of transsexualism. Let's take the Kinsey scale. But instead of gay to straight, let's take it from straight to trans and all the different levels of trans. You know, okay, of course you have straight. But then let's say you have the effeminate guy. The guy that just wants to look more girly, but is very happy being a guy. And it goes on. And then eventually you get to the point where you're a guy or girl that's not happy being a guy or girl. So, let's take it from the female perspective, or the trans girl perspective, because that's the one I understand. You can, and I've known a lot of girls that are just happy. They get their hair removed. That's good enough for them. I've known girls that have gotten their hair removed, and then they take low dosages of hormones and kind of live in the androgynous zone, and that works for them. Whatever works for you, whatever point you feel comfortable at, that's where you need to be at. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. I've known other ones that have had to go on hormones and get more feminine features and curves, and that's where they're happy at. And yet for others, it may be that you actually have to get that thing down there removed because it's a disgusting thing that's protruding from your body and it needs to be destroyed. Because it's hideous and disgusting and foul, and why is it there? And if that's where you're at, you know what, so be it. The point is just to be comfortable with who you are. And that's what we all really want anyway. Just don't let anyone talk you into anything that isn't right for you. This is Ariana Lynn Fails saying thank you and goodbye.